Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and another card making video. In today's video, I'm talking all about mini slimline cards. And I'm featuring the special delivery stamp set from Fawn. It's my stamp set of the month for January, and this is episode 4. Let's jump right in and talk about mini slimline cards. The typical mini slimline card is a 6x6 piece of paper folded in half at 3 inches. And now let's take a look at some mini slimline dies that are on the market right now. This is the mini slimline envelope die set from Trinity Stamps. You can see there are 2 large dies there that you can die cut pieces to create an envelope. There is also a scallop frame, a tag, a banner, some words. Such a good die set. I've been dying to have it. This is the mini slimline die set that has some panels you can cut out and a window piece with 3 windows in it. Now let's talk about the cat Scrappiness offerings. This is just 3 of their die sets for mini slimline cards. Now their mini slimline card is a different size. When finished and closed, their card would be 6 inches by 3 1/4 inches, I believe. So these dies, the largest die is going to cut 5 3/4 by 3 1/4. So you have a layer to put behind it when you cut your slimline card. Next, let's talk about pattern paper. Now we all have tons of 6x6 paper pads if we're card makers, am I right? So if you cut that in half, you have a 6x3 inch piece of paper and you have 2. So you can easily create backgrounds with all those 6x6 paper pads. Now let's take a look at the stamps I'm using today and dies. That is the special delivery stamp set, and this is the box add-on to that set. I'm going to be using the waving pull tab die, of course the Magic Iris Birdhouse, which I'm in love with, a Bug Deal stamp set, and Mushroom Border, I love that one too, and then the Village Border die set. And I'm going to use this little diagonal pocket. I thought it would fit perfectly on the inside of a card. The little XOXO sentiment and Mom Plus Me. I'm also trying out these new pink heart droplets from Cat Scrappiness and some love letter clay bits from my favorite Etsy shop, Craft Supplies by CC. Here are all the images I am going to use for today's cards. Remember, I'm making 3 cards, so I had to stamp out some extras. And then once I have those all stamped out, I can start coloring. I'm just showing you how I'm coloring the owl today because there's so many images, and I'm showing you how to make 3 cards and envelopes as well. So we're just going to do some basic Copic coloring. I like to start with my lightest, bring in my darkest, blend that out with my mid-tone, and then some more blending with my lightest. Sometimes I only use 2 colors, like I'm using on the owl's belly right here. Actually, I started out with 2 colors, and then I did end up bringing in my E11 marker. So I kind of have a thing for owls. I used to make a ton of owl things. It was one of my daughter's favorite animals when she was very little. So I used to make a lot of owl things, and so they do have a soft spot in my heart. I think they're adorable. So I'm coloring out the wings here, but I'm only coloring 1 because when you die cut the wings to use with the waving pull tab, it's going to die cut the other one as well. So you need to stamp it twice and die cut them separately with that specialized die. There you can see all my images colored out, and I'm going to show you, see the die here overlaps onto that other wing, so that's why I stamped it out 2 times. And it's important that you use the 2 different dies because they have an X on them that indicates how to put the pull tab mechanism together to make them wave. Also, I wanted to show you in that box add-on, there's a die you can make the box have an opening in it. So those are 2 cool dies I wanted to show you, and you can see there the X's on those wings. Those will come into play in just a minute. And then my box now has an opening so I can easily tuck stuff into it. All right, so I wanted to show you my little ceramic dish I just found. It's kind of a large ceramic dish, so when I have projects like this with a lot of die cuts, I can have a big dish to put them in. I love ceramic dishes like this that have cute patterns. So there's all my die cuts. Now I'm showing you the double stitched die set from Cat Scrappiness, and when your plates are too close together to snip, just twist them apart like I did there. Now this is the point when I realized, oh, these dies are not 6x3, so I already had my pattern paper cut and ready to go, so I just taped that die into place so I have the stitching on the inside, and then I'll just go ahead and make a 6x3 card, but I really should have made my card a little shorter. I had so many things, like maybe today was a day I should not have been making cards. It's one of those days when things just don't go well. So I'm going to cut the tab out of the top of the card so there's a place where you can reach the pull tab mechanism, and then you want to put this little guide in so you know where to put the die that cuts out the slits in your card. Well, I didn't realize that the die for that was in the special delivery stamp set. I thought that I lost mine, so then I looked at Lawn Fawn and realized, oh, it came with the bear die set that originally came out with this set, and you could make the bear making a snow angel. Well, I didn't have that, so I just drew the lines and made sure my wing fit there, and I cut them with an X-Acto knife. It was a pain in the butt, and later I'll realize where that die is, and I'll share that exciting moment with you. Now I am taking those wings, making sure the X is at the top when I am putting the brad through them and attaching them to this pull tab. And then I'm inserting the wings into the slits that I cut out with an X-Acto knife, because sometimes I'm not that smart. There is a die for this. All right, now I am putting the stabilizer piece onto that tab, gluing it down to my background so that it is up against the stoppers in that tab. And then once it is in place, I can glue down the second little tab, holding that closed. So now it works, and I was quite pleased with myself that I did that with an X-Acto knife. And then I'm going to add a blue, or no, that's brown. It's a brown arrow piece right at the top there. And then I'm going to go ahead and die cut the beak opening from the special delivery set so my little owl can hold the box. And then in the box, I'm putting the baby owl from the Mom Plus Me stamp set, and then a couple envelopes in there as well. It's really cute, the little box with the things tucked in them. I really wanted to make a box that had food in it because of all the food delivery boxes that are out right now where they send you the food and you make the meal and it's super easy. I thought that would be a fun, like, kind of, quarantine themed card, but you can make that one. All right, so I had to trim the little strings so I could tuck it behind all the things I put in my box, and then I mounted that to my card with some foam squares. Next, I am playing with that village border and covering all the openings with white little pieces. Now, there's a die in that set to cut all those pieces so you can easily cover up your windows with whatever color you wanted to do. Now, the piece that I cut off the bottom of my decorative paper is what I attached my houses to, when really I should have just made my card base shorter and glued those houses to the bottom of this piece that I'm now gluing onto my card. You can see I use some fun foam all around that tab to pop this up. It just makes it easier to have it popped up so you can move that mechanism up and down a little easier. Here are the hearts that I stamped, colored, and die cut from that special delivery box add-on. I think they're adorable. I love the two hearts together. Now I'm creating a saying that says, "Owl you need is love," and it's from the special delivery set. I'm going to stamp that with clear pigment ink onto some red cardstock, and then I'm going to take it for a little dip into some white embossing powder. White embossing is like my favorite thing to do for sentiments. I love it. I love it on red. I love it on black. I love it on craft. It's fun. All right, so now I cut this at a diagonal so I could kind of put this across my card because my card was not quite wide enough for it to go straight. But, necessity is the mother of invention, because I loved how this turned out and I wouldn't have done it had I needed to. I'm adding a second sentiment to the inside that says, "and this awesome card." Isn't that cute? Then I'm stamping airmail for a little sticker-like look on top of my box from that box add-on stamp set, and I feel like it just completes the look. I added a little red piece on the inside of my arrow. I felt like it just needed a little something more, and look how great it moves. Love that card. All right, on to card number 2. I am using the Trinity Stamps Slimline die set to die cut a panel. I'm using the middle die, and then I'm going to take the large and small die from that set and die cut them at once to create a frame. Now this is going to be the mat for my pattern paper piece that I just cut out, but I don't have to waste the middle of that paper. I can use it for something else because all that's going to show on this mat is the very edge. So I like to use my layering dies like that so I don't waste the inside paper. All right, I'm gluing that frame down onto my Mini Slimline card, and then I'm adding my background piece, and then I did die cut the bottom from the grass border from that mushroom die set, and then I put the mushrooms behind it so they're peeking out from behind the grass, and then just trimmed off the excess. And I'm going to glue that down, but I'm not going to glue down the mushrooms all the way because I will add something a little that might go behind them. I wasn't sure exactly where it would go. So then I added the red mushroom tops. Now I am doing some stamping onto my birdhouse using a wood grain background stamp from Altenew. I'm using the ballet slipper ink from Concord and Ninth, and I am using that because that's the same color paper I'm using, and I wanted the wood grain on this to be very soft and very subtle. Now if I did this in the Misty, I'd probably stamp it 2 times because it was very soft and very subtle. Now I added a window sheet to the back of my birdhouse because it's going to be a shaker, and then I added my roof and the little scallop bottom piece, and this piece right here can be the stand for your birdhouse, or it could also be a chimney. Next I'm adding some anti-static powder around the edge of the foam strips I added to the back of my birdhouse, and then I'm filling it with these cute little love letters from the Etsy shop Craft Supplies by CC, one of my favorites. I'll have it linked for you below, and then I can glue that to my card. Now I feel like this could easily be a birdhouse, but couldn't it also be a mailbox shaped like a birdhouse? I just need a little red flag for it. So I stamped a little message to say on there, and then I will add a sentiment on the inside in a moment, but I'm going to put my owl together. I added a little satchel and the little hat, so it looks like he's delivering the love letter and he's holding one in his beak. And then I have another love note and the baby owl to add to this as well. I just think that baby owl's adorable, so I added him on there as well. And one thing I didn't stamp at the beginning but I decided this card needed was the little worm. I love all the bugs from the A Bug Deal stamp set. I'm stamping Happy Valentine's on the inside, and that finishes up this card. So fun. All right, we're going to move on to card number 3, but a little disclaimer. I didn't push record right away, so most of the card is done, but I stamped out some Valentines for the owls to give each other, and when I went to die cut them, I realized where the die was. I found the die. It's on the owls. Yeah, I had to shout and let my daughter know in the other room that I found it because I was just telling her how I couldn't find the die to cut the slits in the card to make my owl's wings move. Well, it's with the special delivery stamp set. This is why sometimes it's hard to be me. Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. All right, I'm adding some of the hearts from Cat Scrappiness, and don't you love that wood grain frame? That's the diamond wire and wood grain slimline die. They also have this die available in regular slimline size and A2 size. It's a really fun die, and I was excited to have it. And I just have my 2 little birds exchanging Valentines sitting on the branch, and oh, there's a little caterpillar peeking in there as well. And the paper behind that die is the watercolor paper in pink that I cut with my paper cutter at the very beginning of the video. And there is a look at all 3 of the cards. Now let's move on to making a mini slimline envelope using that die set from Trinity Stamps and some paper from Tonic. Now this paper is very textured, and so it's super soft and very lightweight, easy to bend, so it's a great one for envelopes. My friend Cassie Trask likes to use this paper for envelopes as well. So I thought I would give it a go, and that's a little shout out to Cassie. She's fabulous. You can check out her YouTube channel on, YouTube as well. So I am using a combination of double stick tape and glue to put my envelopes together because, as I've mentioned before, good adhesion is very important to me. So I'm just putting the sides onto the base and then folding them in and then fold the bottom up, and that creates an envelope. Very easy to do. And you just want to make sure and cut 2 of the side pieces. This, however, does not fit my Birdhouse card. I will have a remedy for that in just a minute, but it does fit my other 6x3 card as well as the little bit wider card from Scrappiness. So great card. I added the XOXO on the inside of that card. I added the gift card holder on the inside of my pull tab, and then I added a heart onto the Birdhouse. So now let's make an envelope to fit my wider than normal mini slimline card using a business sized envelope so it will fit that wider card. So what I did is I licked it, shut it, cut off the top, and then the piece that I cut off, I die cut with the Slimline envelope die set from Trinity Stamps. I'll link that one for you below too. There's a top flap to that envelope, and so I just die cut that and adhered it on there. So now I have another top opening envelope that will fit my wider than normal slimline card. You could tuck it on the inside too if you wanted a complete open space to write your address and whatnot, if you wanted to mail it just like that. So there are all the projects for today. I hope that you have learned a little bit more about mini slimline cards. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm going to link all the cool things for you in the description box below. So if you're interested in dies for mini slimline cards, you can check those out. And I thank you so much for all your love and support during this month for the January Stamp Set of the Month series. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday because I will be doing an entire new series with a new stamp set from a company I've never stamped with their products before. So I think that's kind of exciting and worth a look. So I will see you next Tuesday, if not sooner, right here on my YouTube channel. And I hope you're having a fabulous day. Happy stamping. Bye.